Hey guys, welcome back to Zeracha. Today is the first episode of the Drift series where I prep myself and my 350Z for a drift event so it doesn't turn into a disaster. Now, preparation is the key to success. Previously, I installed coilovers and a lot of control arms in this clanker. And I did realize one thing. The bushings on my lower control arms are completely cooked, so that's not good at all. So I posted an Instagram story asking for you guys to vote for what brand of bushing I should use. And if you guys don't know my Instagram yet, check it out at zeracha.z33 right here. Well, weirdly, the result came out 50-50, and fortunately, I am going to move forward with your job application today, so congratulations to y'all. And as a wise man once said, real men don't use no rubber. So today, in the back of my car lies all the suspension component we would need to make our car a full man raw dog suspension build. So inside my trunk I got a gktech lower control arm bushing, an SPL shock mount bushing, and also a high misalignment bump steer correction SPL metal tie rod. Yo, but comment right now if you think David is guilty or not. Well, but the question is, why full metal bushing, you might ask? Well, to put you into perspective, think of it like wrapping your D in rubber or in a metal cup. Which one would feel better?
What?
A few of you guys did warn me in the Instagram story saying like, oh, metal bushings is gonna be noisy, it's gonna be NVH, but let's bust some nuts. I mean, let's bust some myth. But the first thing to do is to push out the 20-year-old bushing in my car, so that's not gonna be easy. But the problem is, I don't have a press. So I did what every single normal person would do and went on Facebook Marketplace looking for someone to sell a sharp press and asked them if I can use it. After securing the time, I quickly pulled out the lower control arm and you can see how bad the bushing is. It literally fell out. And here's why I picked solid bushing. You can see my SPL one is so sturdy. So the next morning, I just drove straight there for 30 minutes and good God, the owner already prepared breakfast for me.
Really, nigga?
Overall, I wouldn't say using a press is much different than using a car jack. Something I would really appreciate to know beforehand is making sure everything is actually flat when you press it in and out, and also bring an Impact 27. I did have my fair share of trial and error, but making sure everything works well, a clean surface, and making sure everything is flat is the main key to success here. Also, one thing I found out is if you're pressing in a bushing at the bottom and arm on the top is the best way to make sure it's straight in. Biggest difference I noticed during the install is SPL bushing just slide in like a butter. I can use a vice clamp, while the gktech one you do need an actual press to push in, but otherwise both seems pretty great quality overall. For doing this the first time it took me around an hour, but now let's go to install it.
Well, biggest difference installation wise, SPL does come with these FFPE insert bushings, whatever they call, while gktech just straight up raw dog, no FFPE whatsoever.
Now, putting the lower control arm back in is the easiest part overall. With these metal bushing, they actually fit in super precisely, so everything goes in super smooth. Nothing to complain at all. I personally think the biggest difference between a rubber or poly bushing versus a metal bushing is that you completely eliminate any sideways movement that are intended to happen, because everything is so centered as you can see. And of course, don't forget your cotter pin. It's not worth it, guys. Next up, I rented 2 outer tie rod tube from O'Reilly for taking out the tie rod. At first, when I'm using this barbecue fork, it wouldn't work, so I almost crashed out. And then I found this too. It's literally a little press for your bushing, so that's great. And then it's just some usual tie rod bullshit counting the circles.
1, 2, 17 and a half, 18.
And then I found a problem. The SPL tie rod is actually a lot shorter than the original one. The installation part here is also slightly tricky. You have to put on the top nut first to secure the rod, and then you have to double nut to nut those two things at the bottom so you can torque the top nut into spec. Now, like I said just now, the SPL tie rod is actually shorter than the original one by around 2 width of the nut at the back, so I just kinda took 3 rotations out of the previous count. They also came with 3 washers, 1 big one and 2 small one. For me, I did 1 small one and 1 big one on top, and also left 1 small one at the bottom. This is my setting right now to bring to the alignment, and the alignment person should take care of the rest professionally. Ideally, it should be completely parallel to your lower control arm when at right height. But otherwise, just putting everything back in place. So here's the first look at it. You can see how it looks overall. No more rubber, no more braking. I think right after my install, it's actually cambered in a little bit. In the meantime, I also switched my rear pair to a DWS Plus for some grippy. And we're back at DI Motorsports again, just like when we installed the coilover. Ooh, look at that E30, that's sick! So I ordered for a custom alignment here, and it cost around 150 bucks. While waiting for 4 hours, I saw a K-swap Lotus. What the heliante? But after almost 4 hours, my alignment is done. Here is my custom alignment spec. I have negative camber in the front, 0 toe in the front, and then I got -1 camber at the rear, and also 1/8 toe in at the rear. So the idea behind this alignment setting is -2 camber in the front should give me better corner lateral stability, while the 1/8 toe in at the back should also give me rear stability. But with the new camber, my wheels look pretty tucked in, so I probably need new wheels. And here's the little cool part about my SPL control arm up there.
Alright, so at the end of the day, what's the conclusion of having these metal bushings, right? So in general, steering feels super precise, the turns are super sharp, especially when I'm turning in corners with the -2 camber. I feel like the car is like flat, you know? It's like when you're driving flat, but back then when I do like a maybe 50 miles per hour turn, you can feel the car is a little bit, you know, bumpy, but I'm sure the tie rod does help a lot too. After the alignment as well, the car does feel a little bit floaty. I think it's alright as long as I'm not driving in the rain, so that's all good. Otherwise, steering response is tighter than my butthole, so I can't complain at all. NVH wise, it's not any much louder than having coilovers already. If you got coilover, you know it's already slightly louder, so I don't think it matters that much. It doesn't really sound any noticeable to me if it's any louder or what. So if you got coilover, rest assured you can put metal bushing on this car.
Plus, Atoto just sent me their newest head unit for free, so shout out to Atoto, bro. With this head unit, the music is actually a lot louder and the bass is a lot stronger. So that completely covers any noise from the metal bushing, if anything. Plus, it also comes with Apple CarPlay and all that shit, so yeah, to be honest, I don't know why they sent me this head unit for free and didn't ask for any promotion or anything, but you know, shout out to them. If it's a social experiment, double it and give it to the next person maybe. But the coolest thing is this head unit made in China has AI in it, so let's test that out. Alright, of course we gotta prepare for some Chinese phrase to talk with the AI, so let's try that out.
How to say, can you bounce on it? In Chinese, 能在上面蹦吗？
能在上面蹦吗？
How to say, I'm gonna destroy that hole in Chinese. 我要搞烂那个洞洞。我要搞烂那个洞洞。
我要搞烂你那个洞洞。
Now I think that's the AI they're talking about, a system, right? That kind of looks Google, but let's try it out. Drive chat? Woo! Okay. Agree. Scan to log in. Scan what?
How to say, you useless piece of shit in Chinese. 你这没用的狗屎，你这没用的狗屎。
Alright, you gotta do the clap too. You useless piece of shit.
Well, jokes aside, everything works well with this thing, you know. The CarPlay is super smooth, it's loud and all that, you know, all the buttons are there. It's super clear, it doesn't really glare. I mean, from the filming perspective it is, but I actually don't see glare in it, so it's pretty alright. So if you guys are looking for a head unit, check out Atoto. I did use them way back then when they have the 7th generation and they sent me the 8th generation, so shout out to them. Yo, you can even watch my YouTube video when you're driving. You got no excuse to not watch it, bro.
But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching the first episode of the Drift series, and the second episode would either be training myself or getting new wheels for the car, so you guys stay tuned. But otherwise, see you guys in Valhalla.